Hello, everyone out there in the multiverse. I'm Dan.
Oh, it's not who's going to stop first. Chris.
And I am Isaac. Been a while since we did this. And this is Cinema Nitpicks.
Yeah.
So
I'm digging the name.
yeah. And we are talking about
anticipated movies for this year.
Of 2021.
Yes.
In an ideal world, the movies come out in 2021.
Some of these might be pushed back. Who knows?
Some of
We'll
these
see.
I might be watching in the comfort of my own home.
That's
I
true.
most likely will follow that example.
Every single WB movie, yes.
Yeah.
At least for this year.
We're gonna talk about a movie, so I'm gonna save it for later.
Okay.
Fair enough.
All right. Okay.
So,
Oh God.
do we want to just start with like just generally what we're most interested in, or is an honorable mention, or what do you?
Just generally what we're interested in.
Do how you did it.
Yeah,
how you
sure.
had your own list.
Yeah. All right. I'll say honorable mention. A movie I want to be interested, but I'm not really feeling is Eternals.
Yeah, I'm right there with them.
Ditto.
Guys.
I'm gonna go ahead and say ditto.
Yeah, I was like, it looks pretty. The trailer looked nice, and it's gonna have an all-star cast, but I just I didn't feel that connection.
It's Eternals, and the trailer hasn't done anything.
I'm telling you.
Yeah, the trailer doesn't even talk about the antagonist, really.
Yeah, we don't know what's going on at all.
I have this vision of this movie being a Wes Anderson film. I just feel like a dysfunctional family that, throws a little bit of hijinks here and there, with all trying to be highbrow comedy the whole time.
Yeah.
That's how I feel, but I don't think it's actually going to be that way.
Yeah, I feel like this is one of those Marvel movies that's gonna strain on the concept of where were you the last 10 years?
Yeah.
Be like, you could have helped in the invasion of New York and Ultron and all these other Thanos.
I will say this, that one thing that might make that question better is if the reason they decided to come out is simply because they killed Thanos. Thanos is one of them, technically.
Oh.
So, not because of any threat, but, hey, you killed one of us. That'd be an interesting take. I don't know.
Yeah?
I got the vibe from the ancient one, or it was more like she already knew what fights she had to be a part of, and the ones that she didn't, she was like, oh, I don't need to be here, so I'll just water my plants, I'm just going to hang out.
But at the same time, we saw her, in the fight just to the side. No one saw her there.
Yeah, she hit a couple Shatari and went back to her business.
Yeah, exactly. she knew who was taking care of business, but she's helping out a little bit, Yeah.
I mean, it's a Marvel movie, so it's gonna make money.
Oh yeah.
It is probably my surefire bet for the movie that's gonna make the least amount of money for Marvel.
Really? I would have thought...
out of modern movies, let's say.
Yeah,
it's going to make more than some of the original sure.
See, I honestly, I want to believe that, but I think Black Widow is going to make less because it's going to be... Because you can watch it from home.
Yeah, but you still have to pay to watch it.
You still have to pay $20.
Yeah, but if I pay $20 and we have 12 people in the room to watch it...
Yeah, it's...
I mean, that is a possibility, and there are people who are going to do it.
Yeah, that's true.
I have still yet to buy one of the Disney Plus movies.
I think that most people miss going to theater, though.
Oh, yeah.
I do believe that.
I don't know. Judging by the parking in the theater last couple of days, I don't good.
But these are things that people have already had a chance to see that are at the theater right
That's
now.
true. Spiral, which I had.
Well,
to see.
I don't know much
see.
about that one.
Yeah,
So.
like Godzilla vs. Kong.
That came out
was in the
before.
I actually watched it in the theater.
Yeah.
And I also watched it at home. I watched it at the Alamo.
Yes, which is awesome. I love the Alamo.
God, I love the Alamo.
Haven't been in so long ago.
I don't know.
Five
If you'd like
more-
to endorse Cinema Nitpicks, please let us know.
Yes.
Oh, please do.
Sir, yeah.
Especially you, Winchester. I think that we are going to gradually start going to the movies again.
Mhm.
I just don't think that there's going to be this rush.
I think a Marvel movie will get that rush. I
Not
do.
as big as you think. I think that the pandemic showed us that we can find and watch movies from the comfort of our home and be okay with it.
Yeah, I
I
could see,
just
especially
hands down.
I'll be interested to see how Warner Brothers does because
Yeah.
they're the ones that have.
Warner Brothers pulled all their first run Warner Brother movies from next year. They're all going to theaters first.
Yeah, next
Oh,
year.
I
Next
thought,
year.
But the original plan was only for this year anyway.
I thought
yeah,
they
because
were
like
gonna do that
Suicide
going
Squad's
forward.
going to be virtual. It's going to be online.
Is it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Okay. That's good. Because
I know
wanna
Dune's
see
going to be online, but we're going to talk about that in a little bit.
that. Okay.
Fair enough.
All right.
But yeah, that was my honorable mention. I want to be excited. Nah, not feeling it so much.
All right.
Any movie your guys? So is that the one you're all kind of
That's
on?
Let's talk about nostalgia.
Nostalgia.
All right.
Okay.
How
Give
how
me some
far
nostalgia, sir.
does nostalgia get you? If you're looking at this list of movies that are coming out this year, we have Top Gun, we have Ghostbusters.
Yeah, you got me with that.
Wait, Ghostbusters still coming out this
Yeah,
year?
Yep.
Ghostbusters
All
still
right.
coming out this year.
That is the nostalgia
Uh,
one here. November
we have,
11th. And as long as time follows its trajectory,
We have Dune for us older people. What's
I'd
the
be
other
willing to
one?
give Dune a chance.
Matrix. Hello.
I have no.
Why have we not heard more about this movie other than a piece?
Yeah,
picture?
I mean, it's weird that
It's-
I know nothing about it, Matrix 4. I just know it's coming out. That's
It's
it.
coming out in December, and all we've seen is a couple pictures from the set.
Yeah.
Do you think it's actually going to be called Matrix 4, or is that a working title?
Probably a working title because the others didn't have numbers, right? Did they?
No, they had a name after each one of them.
Yeah.
I was like, I'll be honest. I think Matrix as a franchise could have been left alone.
It could have been. Yeah.
But if you're going to tell a new story,
Mhm.
then cool. But if it's just going to rehash
Mm-hmm.
the 1 through 3, I'm not interested.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. Matrix 4 is kind of one of those big question marks.
Yeah,
for
that's
me.
what I'm like.
But on a whole, there's all the nostalgia movies are a big question mark for me. I think Top Gun will make money because it's got Tom Cruise and the original cast. Most of the original cast is back in the movie.
But Tom Cruise was in The Mummy.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
that
Well, what was he flying a jet plane?
He did
Being
fly
Maverick.
at some point.
Inverted, you know? I
But didn't
can't
he
do
like
inverted.
dangle off buildings and do all
He
his
probably did. He
Mission
probably Tom
Impossible
Cruised it
stuff?
up. But it's just one of those movies that it's kind of questionable on that. Ghostbusters, I was going to say that's the one that's going to disappoint us all. But I was like, it's Ghostbusters. That's just a low-hanging fruit.
I mean,
After watching the last Ghostbusters movie that came out, I don't even know what the actual official
Richmond,
title.
yeah, I mean, it's
Wasn't it
Ghostbusters
just
Afterlife.
Ghostbusters? Oh,
Yeah, well, that's the
I'm
new one
interested.
coming out.
I want to see. That is probably, if I had to pick a movie. Well, there's 2 movies. This is probably one of 2 movies that would actually get me to go to a theater. I would strongly consider it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I would do it, but I would strongly consider it.
Right.
Because that is where the nostalgia bug hits.
Yeah.
Is Ghostbusters for me. You're talking to a guy who has his own jumpsuit. And it follows the train of thought I had for a Ghostbusters reboot / sequel, where it's kind of following the Star Wars mentality.
Mm-hmm.
You've had a lapse in the films. You're having your original cast, but you're also expanding onto newer
Mm-hmm.
Right.
individuals. So you're telling a new story, but you're also honoring the
What came before?
came before,
Yeah.
which is what my issue with Answer the Call was, or renamed Ghostbusters Answer the Call, was that it couldn't decide what it wanted to be. There was a lot of throwbacks,
Uh-huh.
but it wasn't really willing to cut the tie. If it was just a completely different movie, or like a completely its own movie, or it was a soft sequel like
Mm-hmm.
what this is going to be, like Ghostbusters Afterlife, I would have had more investment.
Yeah, I mean, I will definitely. Like, what am I kidding? Most of these I'm going to tell you right now, most of these major movies, if the Alamo keeps doing what they've been doing, I will probably go to the Alamo every time to go
What's
watch
the
it.
Alamo currently doing?
They're doing the when you go into the room, it's they're 6 feet apart. They're spacing their reserved seats still.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they've always had reserved seats, but the seats are spaced out.
Yeah.
So you have a lesser capacity, and it really feels like there's 6 feet between you and the next person, people behind you, and people beside you, and all that stuff.
That's cool.
So I feel like they really nailed social distancing there.
Mm-hmm.
Plus the menus are real short. It's still you still have that Alamo atmosphere, and I was very glad to have that once they reopened. So I'll probably still go see most of the major movies at the Alamo, just because I love the environment and it's a great theater. So Ghostbusters, I definitely will be there. I beg that anybody, I don't care how bad that last Ghostbusters movie was, when you see Ecto-1 on the screen, do not get goosebumps.
Yeah, I mean,
just the poster. It's like the field with the Ecto-1. It's just awesome.
Pretty.
I like it. Yeah, it's very simple and it takes you back.
I could do without the space laser coming from the sky, like because they seem to have that coming down in the picture.
Yeah.
I'm tired of seeing giant space weapons from the sky.
Yeah.
It just seems kind of.
Like
but overall, I'm very interested.
Yeah.
I like the trailer. I would have happily seen it months ago when it was supposed to be out. And then it was months back before that.
Yeah.
I'm really interested how they will discuss how we have a missing Ghostbuster. So I'll be interested. Like in Answer the Call, they had a statue, or no, it was a bust of Egon, but not named Egon in there. So I'll be curious to see what they do in this film to reference him. I'm assuming he's going to be related to the kids that we see.
I think he's the granddad.
Yeah,
I'll be honest with you.
That's my understanding.
I
I
think
feel like he's going to be related
to
in
him.
some way.
Yeah, and that's why they have the Ecto-1 in their barn.
Yeah.
Yeah, most likely.
So, but yeah, I think nostalgia is the one that is like kind of the wild card. I just don't know where these nostalgia films are going to go. Like, generally nostalgia sells well, especially for people our age. We love those old movies.
Yeah.
We hold them, cherish them, so we'll see anything branded with them.
Yeah.
So, on my list, I have most fun as a topic. And we talked a little bit about this, and I'm really only going to mention this movie for a little bit. I promise.
Sure, go for it.
Jackass 4.
Zero interest.
Yeah,
I just, the stunts, the craziness, the pranks, the stupidity. Every once in a while, it's good to check your brain out the door. And I think that's what Jackass 4 is going to give me. I probably will see this in the theater. It just depends on how I feel.
I'm not sure if I would just be sad watching it.
Yeah.
They're all in
Like
their 50s, I think, now.
Maybe.
And this is supposedly the last one, even though they said that 3 was going to be the last one. Or was it Grandpa?
I don't know, but
yeah.
I just...
Yeah.
I have no interest in it.
Yeah. You're on your
own.
I might
buddy.
be on this one, it's fine.
I wish you well with it.
Yeah.
I'm so,
Enjoy.
yeah. Hey, I can't be perfect all the time, right?
No, of course not.
We try sometime though.
Oh, wow! Oh,
Cutting deep!
What?
That's mean.
I know. I'm a horrible person. That's it.
That's fair, but I mean, I probably got movies on here that neither of you guys would care about.
I don't know.
So I'm kind of a mark for Marvel movies. So I am looking forward to pretty much all of them other than Eternals. So Black Widow, Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings, Spider-Man No Way Home. I'll admit Spider-Man No Way Home is probably the one I have.
I mean,
that and Ghostbusters are probably the way I'd go.
Yeah,
to see it there.
Ghostbusters and Spider-Man are for me too. I'm not caring as much about the other Marvel stuff as I usually do. It's just, I mean, Shang-Chi, his trailer kind of got me, maybe it'll be good. Black Widow I don't think deserves a movie. She's a side character. That's my opinion.
I just feel
She's a team character, and
I think that they gave us enough though, because they gave us the team. They're using her. I guess technically, they're gonna call her family, because Red Guardian, I guess, is her dad.
yeah, I guess that's what they're doing.
I guess
in
that's
the
how they're
movies.
presenting her in the movie.
That's what it seems like.
I didn't get that vibe, but that's interesting.
They're introducing some of the other super soldiers from, or super spies. I should say soldier.
Yeah.
From Russia.
Yeah.
Taskmaster, hands down an awesome.
I am looking forward to seeing Taskmaster.
Awesome villain, but he's a big enough villain that he could be in an Avengers movie. He could have been. So now that he's being regularly I can't talk. He's pushed to a Black Widow movie. So next time he fights the Avengers and kicks their butts, we're gonna be all going, didn't you just get your butt handed by Black Widow?
Yeah, that's if he shows up again.
Yeah.
True.
I mean, that might. I'm sorry, but I feel like I like Taskmaster, but I feel like he's going to become the equivalent of Batroc the Leaper for Marvel films.
Well, Batroc was always a joke villain anyway.
Yeah,
And
but I meant like more so like he sprinkled in a couple things.
Yeah.
Like he was in
Winter Soldier.
Winter Soldier,
yeah.
and he was in Winter Soldier and Falcon the Winter Soldier, and he sprinkled in a little bit.
Right.
So I feel like that's going to be where Taskmaster kind of is. I don't think
And
he's going to be.
They could do it in a way where she doesn't necessarily beat him. Like he could be like maybe a side villain that she doesn't beat. Like he's that good, and then he could be an ultimate threat later on. They could do it.
It's
like
a possibility.
Yeah.
I mean,
I also
but look what they did with Crossbones.
yeah, that's another example where I was thinking like Crossbones might be like Taskmaster.
So, I just don't feel warm and fuzzy that he's going to get out of that one.
I mean, I just don't think he would have been an Avengers level villain in the MCU franchise when you have Thor and Hulk.
Yeah, I mean,
well, it's comic books versus movies. So.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, I'm looking at the movie universe, and it's like I think Kang the Conqueror or Victor Von Doom is going to be the next Marvel big bad.
I think Kang the Conqueror is totally going to be safe for the Fantastic Four movie.
Well, Kang's getting introduced in
He's
Ant-Man.
in Ant-Man.
Oh, he's going to be Ant-Man?
He's going to be introduced in Ant-Man.
Yeah, that's been confirmed. But regarding Kang, even in the comics recently, he's been treated as a joke.
Well, he's been in his own comic book, Taskmaster.
In his own comic book, he
He's
was actually
definitely
really good, but his other appearances have all been like joke appearances recently.
It could just be that they're dumbing him down for that. I mean, I don't know. I like Taskmaster as a villain. I think that might be my problem.
Fair enough.
I mean, I like him too. He's great.
He's a very good.
Being able to mimic any fighting style is awesome.
Yeah.
And I like the way they dealt with it as a solo miniseries.
And I think that'll be great for the concept of Black Widow because you can mimic Black Widow style, or Red Guardian, anyone we see really in that.
Yeah.
And
I'm really hoping that we do get another, some of the other Avengers popping in that for a couple seconds in the Black Widow.
Well, supposedly
get Hawkeye.
Tony Stark is there.
Yeah, I'm hoping Hawkeye specifically.
Yeah.
Mainly because I think it'll be a nice setup for his TV show.
Well, I think they're supposed to explain what I'm forgetting the name of the city where they claim that Budapest. I think we're supposed to get the Budapest.
Yeah, I did hear that. I don't know if it's a rumor or if it's been confirmed, but I have heard that.
But I'm interested. But of the Spider-Man No Way Home, because it could be so many different ways. I've been saying for years, like back when Marvel re-got the property, I've been wanting a live-action Spider-Verse. Like I talked my ideas about bringing Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire in to be the other Spider-Man. I was thinking we have adult Tobey Spider-Man. He's married. He has a kid. Old Mayday type thing. We have Andrew playing a version of Spider-Man that became Tony Stark in his reality. And then you could see where our young Parker, our Marvel Parker, kind of looks at where his life could be, where it could go, and then kind of picks like, maybe I don't need to live in the Tony Stark shadow. I could do my own thing.
Yeah, I will say this. I think you're going to be disappointed.
I think
I don't think they're going to do any Spider-Verse stuff in this at all. I think that they're going to save the multiverse stuff for Doctor Strange. And they might hint at it at this, but the plot I don't think is going to center around multiverse.
I'll be honest. My curiosity is that because of the timeline, I believe Strange comes out before Spider-Man.
Originally, it was.
Is it flipped now?
It's Strange is now after.
Because I was thinking where No Way Home, that in some ways Spider-Man was in the Doctor Strange movie, and he got dropped by accident. He was left in a multiverse.
That would be cool, but I don't think it is.
And then he'd be like, I have no way home!
I mean, that's one of the big things is to speculate on how the movie's going to turn out. For me, I'm also excited for this movie, which is rare for me. I'm not...
He doesn't like Spider-Man.
I'm not a big of a mark as Marvel as I used to be.
Yeah, I'm a big...
Which is weird, because I read Marvel, I own all the movies. I just... When it comes to MCU, it doesn't... I think my nerd takes over way too much, and so I have to calm myself in my expectations because otherwise I'll be that raving lunatic in the theater.
Yeah, I get that. Part of me just like, and I feel like it's getting propelled more because we now have Jamie Kennedy coming back as Electro.
Jamie Foxx.
or Jamie Foxx.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I love Jamie Kennedy. Sorry. Jamie Foxx coming back as Electro. The fellow who played Doc Ock in the Rami.
I can't wait for
He's
that.
coming back. So I feel like there's tidbits there.
But the thing is, I think it's like J.K. Simmons. He's just they're playing the MCU versions because Electro isn't blue in this. He's not going to be blue.
Are we sure?
Doc Ock died in Spider-Man 2.
Right.
So, I mean, I don't think they're going to be playing the same characters, just the MCU versions of those characters.
So you're going to introduce 2 whole new villains?
Yeah.
I
mean, it'll be interesting to
Because
see
it's
what
like-
happens. Cause
yeah, because I mean...
I thought that all this is all speculation still because every time one of them says, "We've seen them on the set," so
No, those
Marvel
two-
keeps coming up
those two have
going,
been
"No."
confirmed. Those
Yeah.
two have been confirmed.
Those two haven't been confirmed.
The Spider-Men are rumored.
Andrew Garfield has denied being in the film.
Yeah.
I don't think Toby has commented.
Right.
But those are definitely rumors.
Yeah.
Because I could also see them wanting to bring Emma Stone to be
Yes.
Spider-Gwen.
I saw this meme of them where, Peter's like, Gwen died on my Earth, and then it's her as Spider-Gwen saying that, Peter died on my Earth, And that would be a really good scene for the movie, but I don't see it. I just have this feeling that it's not going to deal with the multiverse
I
as
don't
much
see
as
no
people
Spider-Verse
think.
anytime soon because I still think they're going to stick with the cartoon version of Spider-Verse.
Oh, yeah, I feel like they
think
should.
That's the Spider-Man that's going to run that universe. Mm-hmm. So if we get a Spider-Verse, it is not going to be Peter Parker's the main character.
The reason I would like this, though, the big reason, because then it gives some, I don't want to say validity to why we've rebooted Spider-Man so many times. But it also could be a full circle. Because, like, with Maguire's Spider-Man, there was supposed to be a Spider-Man 4.
Yeah, there was.
And we have story ends that we could cap end on there. Andrew Garfield was supposed to have a Spider-Man 3.
Mm-hmm.
That didn't happen. Because we went Marvel. Mm-hmm. So we have story ends that were never explored there, cap
You
end.
mean Sinister Six?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, so there is material conversation that we could all be like, this is what happened to that Spider-Man you had in high school. Yeah. Like your Maguire if that was your Spider-Man, this is the end story for him. If Garfield was your Spider-Man, this is what happened to him, and we can end those with a note.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's why I have a particular interest in that.
One thing is though, there is some connection to what Sony's doing with their other movies.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And that could be multiverse related. It might not be. It might just be their movies exist in the MCU somehow.
Tom Hardy versus Tobey Maguire.
It's coming. Maybe not Tom Hardy versus Tobey Maguire, but Tom Hardy's coming.
Yeah.
He's coming. It's
like because
probably either Venom 3 or Spider-Man 8.
Yeah. Yeah, Michael Keaton was in the Morbius trailer, for instance.
Yeah.
So there is some connection there.
There's some.
We just don't know yet. And it could be multiverse. It could be that they exist in the same universe.
Are they pouring a Pietro on us?
They could be doing that too. Who knows?
They're like, oh, Pietro, you're back. Oh, no, you're not.
Oh, you're boner.
Yeah.
So that's my that's what I want. But my expectation is fake Pietro. That's what I'm expecting, just not what I want.
I feel like we keep glancing over Shang-Chi.
You're right.
I do feel like it should get its time in the sun.
That's
because it's touching on the martial arts aspect that we failed miserably. Well, not miserably.
Fist.
I actually liked Iron Fist.
Yeah, I liked Iron Fist too, actually.
But Iron Fist Season 2 was superior to 1.
Yeah,
1 was just kind of
I would have done different casting for Iron Fist. I wouldn't have had the actor they had for Danny.
Yeah.
I actually liked him. I liked the innocence he portrayed. To me, him being away for so long, that fit to me.
Okay.
And I liked the now I haven't watched Iron Fist in a while. The fellow who I think it was in season 1, the kind of fellow that kind of did the karate, but he kind of did like
the drunken
fist.
Yeah,
I would have preferred him to be Danny, like the actor. Mm-hmm. Apparently, he was in the semifinals to get that role.
Huh.
So we would have had someone who already knows martial arts, and you wouldn't have to have done creative editing.
Yeah, I actually thought when I watched that he was going to be Shang-Chi. I actually thought that they were going to make that character
that would have been
Shang-Chi
cool.
in Iron Fist, but it
Well,
didn't happen.
I think once again, because we said we were going to talk about the Marvel TV shows anyways, because
I'm excited for those. They're quasi movie.
Yeah, Loki's honorable mention.
Loki.
Yes. But they lost something when they were like, okay, hey, Netflix, we want nothing to do with that universe because, let's face it, Daredevil was spectacular.
Yeah.
And Daredevil, once again, cliffhanger. They're apparently also going to ignore Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
That's been going on since.
Yeah, they've been
Thor
ignoring
Dark
it for a
World.
while, but I feel like that they may use some of those characters and
I
further
hope
their
so.
story.
I mean,
I'm hoping they do.
There's such a lot of information, like a lot of why can't they just take Punisher?
Yeah, he was the perfect Punisher.
They could still use him. They honestly don't have. I mean, you could do what they the concept of he comes in as Punisher. We don't tell a backstory.
Yeah, you don't.
You just you know who Punisher is. You can assume that what you saw on Netflix was his thing, or you can go, maybe it's not. Maybe that's a second universe Punisher, but it's the same guy. We have an idea of what
they can do the same thing for Daredevil, really.
Yeah, and the thing is like, I mean, this is me also hoping that we get more Immortals. I would love to see more Fantastic Four mixed with the Immortals pop in occasionally.
You mean Eternals?
Eternals.
I said Immortals,
or are you talking about Inhumans?
I'd love. Yeah. I'd be interested to see them do Inhumans. I really have a soft spot for the Inhumans.
We're pretending the show doesn't.
I didn't find the show too bad, but it wasn't that great.
But if we take what Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. did with Inhumans...
No, I'm talking about the actual show, Inhumans, with the royal family.
Yeah, my thought being... My concern is that if we say Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., we're trying to take some of that, like Quake is an Inhuman, which I would assume Quake is probably the most likely of the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. characters to get brought over.
Yeah.
Her and Coulson.
Coulson.
But you're going to have to be creative with how you describe Inhumans, because you had a whole arc of Terrigen, Misk, fish oil.
Well, see, they're also doing Ms. Marvel, and that's basically her origin, except in the comics it was in the atmosphere.
Yeah, the Terrigen Mist hits New York, it goes...
Yeah. So... They're doing Ms. Marvel, so they already have something to start her origin right there.
Oh yeah, like she has some fish oil when it comes in Inhuman.
Basically, yeah.
I mean, it'd be interesting to see what they do if they divulge in their TV shows.
Yeah, I like that whole story.
I hope so. There's a lot of cool material there, especially with Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. But this is MCU. We know they're going to do whatever they want to anyways. And they're going to hey guys, this is what we're going to drop. We're going to drop these seeds, and they're not going to actually be there. It's all going to be to throw us off. That's right.
Maybe.
I don't think that. I think that they will, bring some concepts back. I could be completely wrong.
I think you're completely wrong.
I think they had a great Ghost Rider. I thought Ghost Rider
that was a great for Robbie.
Yeah. I don't think they'll bring him back.
No, they already said they weren't. He was going to get his own movie.
Show.
Show.
Yeah. It was going to be with Hellstrom and that stuff.
And then they got rid of the Hellstrom stuff, too.
Yeah, that lasted one season.
That was good, though.
Yeah. I watched most of it.
But why... the combat and piece about Shang-Chi seems cool. I'll be interested to see what villains are in there. I heard the Mandarin.
Yeah,
I heard at one point Baron Mordo was supposed to be in it.
Yeah.
But I don't know if that's still happening or not.
I didn't hear about that rumor, so I don't know.
Well, I thought my understanding was supposed to be a battle, like a big competition for the 10 rings. And in that competition, one of the participants was Baron Mordo.
I mean, with Marvel's martial arts world, you could sprinkle anybody who you really wanted to. You could actually say, hey, see that in the crowd, that Canadian-looking dude, kind of short? Guess who that is? Yeah, he's watching.
Just like the kid that was Peter Parker.
That's what I was just thinking.
Like,
the colors that kid was Peter Parker.
Yeah, exactly.
We always meant for that kid to be Peter Parker.
Exactly.
Smile and nod.
It's Easter eggs that are not really Easter eggs that we make into Easter eggs.
Yeah, exactly.
That's a forced Easter egg.
But they have so many cool characters they could throw in there.
Yeah.
I think they are going to keep it with just the basic. I mean, we could even get the start of our Iron Fist. A new Iron Fist.
Yeah.
Or they could use the same actor, maybe. Hopefully.
Probably not.
I wish.
I mean, I think he's a good actor. Like I said, I liked him in the role too. But
season 2 he got better.
Definitely.
Yeah.
I thought he did alright in Game of Thrones.
I mean, there's a lot of potentials. That's why I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to almost every Marvel movie.
So there's some horror movies that are coming out as well. That I'm looking forward to those. So basically, my list is horror movies and Marvel, and a little bit of Ghostbusters.
Yeah.
So in July,
Ghostbusters kind of both. You know, it's horror, but it has the comedy.
All right,
It's
so I
like
have a
Marvel
question
does, so
for
it's
you.
both.
And since I also have a lot of horror movies on my list because, well, I love horror too. Forever Purge.
no, I'm not into the Purge movies.
Okay. See, I am. I like them. I like the TV show.
I
like
tried to
the
watch
concept.
the TV show, and I was just like, no. I'm not
I just
into it, yeah.
couldn't get behind it. Like, just the premise, like, there's a suspension of disbelief for it that I just didn't have.
Right. So I think the creators of the Purge series realize they've gone too far. Like, but I'm not gonna lie. I wrote down cowboy stuff.
Is that the name of a movie?
No, for Purge, they go to a farm and they raid this farm dressed up as cowboys.
So strangers meets cowboys.
Basically, I mean, Purge in a sense has always been kind of a strangers kind of ripoff almost in that whole vein of you were home, that's why we came. You know, so I'm looking forward to it. I don't think I'm actually gonna see that in the theater though. I'll wait till it comes out on
That's something
VOD,
you don't need to see in theater.
video on demand, just because it's gonna be another one of those blink and you miss it movies. The other one I put on my list, and we talked about this earlier, The Conjuring.
Yeah, I've never.
Once again, blink and you miss it.
Yeah, never. I like slashers, like zombies, I like monsters, but ghost movies have never hit my fancy. Really.
Yeah.
Other than Ghostbusters, but
Yeah.
I think that's just because they make me giggle.
Right. I don't know. The Conjuring films have been hit or miss for me. This one right now, I kind of feel like they're done.
Yeah,
This should be the last one, I'm hoping. And I want to see it just go seeing all the other ones.
I think it'll be the last one if it doesn't perform well.
I mean, the problem is 90% of the horror movies with their low budgets, or at least low
Some
budgets,
some don't have low budgets.
tend to perform well because they bank their whole movie on that first opening weekend.
Mhm.
If it doesn't make their money back opening weekend, it's a bad movie. You know.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, but also there's some like, so for me, so there's like 3 horror movies that are coming out that really catch my eye. Out in July, Massacre Academy comes out. It's an independent horror film.
Okay.
With clowny, like with a clown serial killer type.
Okay.
It looks cool. It's filmed out in Pittsburgh, so it's cool. The Pittsburgh area. You can find it like on Facebook, YouTube, and they're doing like an indie for like DVDs and stuff.
Okay.
But Carney the Clown is what his name.
Carney. Okay.
Carney. Cool mask. Dude has this like weird sledgehammer thing, and he's like, boom. There's some behind the scenes stills where it looks like just things are exploding wildly. So yeah, I think that'll be a cool one. I'm looking forward to seeing it. It also has Dave Sheridan and Felissa Rose in it. Dave Sheridan from like Scary Movie and Felissa Rose from some Sleepaway Camp. Both of them also being in Bloody Summer Camp and some other cool films. But overall, I'm really interested in seeing Massacre Academy.
Okay.
So that's probably my top indie one I'm seeing coming out. But I'm also interested in seeing Candyman
Of course.
and Halloween Kills.
So I'm all about that that Candyman movie. That trailer with the little paper puppets, so awesome. Just I'll see it. I don't care if the whole movie's horrible. That trailer just had me super ecstatic, and just the way they did the trailer. And if they intermin some of that in the movie itself, like some of the background stories that they tell, just yeah. I just think the artistic aspect of Candyman is going to be cool. You know, I was not a fan of the idea of them remaking that, as generally when it comes to remakes. But
Tony Todd's in it, so that originally I wouldn't be interested either. when they said they were rebooting Hellraiser
Mm-hmm.
or doing all those various sequel bits, I had no interest. When Nightmare on Elm Street got rebooted, I had no interest.
Right.
I still watched it disappointedly, but
Mm-hmm.
but this one, when Tony Todd's in it, it gives it for me as a sense of validity. Like
Okay.
it kind of is like, okay, if Tony's willing to be involved, I'm willing to at least give it a chance.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
How about Virginia Madison? Or Madsen, sorry. The protagonist, the female.
Yeah,
She's in, I think, 2 of them.
maybe. I don't know. That was the initial part for me that caught
I
my
didn't
eye
see
was
if she was
Tony
in
Todd was involved. Same thing with the remake / reboot of Halloween. Jamie Lee Curtis was involved, so I was like, all right, my ears are perked, my eyes are open. Let's see what we're doing here.
One counter to that one.
But now I'm still interested with Halloween Kills. But continue.
What's your counter?
What was it? Forever Halloween? That one where she's in it for 5 seconds.
You mean
H2O wasn't
No,
it?
she was in H2O, which is
Halloween
absolutely
Resurrection?
There you go.
Resurrection.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. To be fair, any horror film / sequel that has a tagline of resurrection, requiem, bloodlines, don't bother. That's just as a generic filler tagline to add on to a sequel. Like, that, you might as call it, just be like, I'm hoping for a check. I hate those types of taglines.
I will say that 20 minutes or 15 minutes that she's in the movie, it might
Not
be
even
less
that. It's like
was
maybe
the
10.
only watchable part of that whole movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You didn't like Busta Rhymes? Trick or treat, mother.
No.
I censored for you. If you want that line in full, find it somewhere on YouTube. Yeah, that movie's bad.
Yeah, I mean, it's just.
But that is a good counterpoint. Jamie Lee Curtis was involved.
Mm-hmm.
But if I remember correctly, Jamie Lee Curtis only agreed to be in that film if they killed her. Like,
Yes,
she's
that's
like,
what I've heard, yeah.
She's like, I am done with Halloween. I thought she's like, her thought was H2O was the end, and
Mm-hmm.
but then they're like, oh, it did so well, let's do another. And she's like,
Yeah.
if you kill me.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, at that point in time, I think she was busy writing children's books at that point in time.
I'll be honest, I would have. I forget the name of the actress that played Jamie Lee Curtis's daughter in the newer Halloween film. She's in a ton of stuff. But you know who I'm talking about, right?
Not Danielle Harris.
No. That's who actually I was about to refer to. In the newer Halloween film, she has a daughter and they have a separated relationship.
Right, the one from 5.
Thank you. I just couldn't remember her name. And I was like, someone help me.
Yeah, I can't think of it's Halloween 5, but I can't think of the name of the girl.
No.
Oh.
Danielle Harris is in the traditional franchise. I'm talking about Jamie Lee Curtis from the film, like the newer
okay.
the new Halloween where she has the daughter.
Yes. Yes.
You have the generational Jamie's character, Jamie, and like Laurie, her daughter, Laurie's granddaughter. They're all in the house. Michael.
Yeah.
That daughter. I don't remember her actress's name. Please feel free to tell me in the comments and be like, bad horror fan. You don't remember.
I've made so many mistakes in this
I would have rather
Little rusty.
that been Danielle Harris. Like, replaced her and put Danielle Harris just as a tag to the older films.
I remember when they first announced the new Halloween movies, or at least not Halloween series, that Danielle Harris was upset because she was left out when they were bringing so many people back in.
Well, they only really brought back Jamie Lee Curtis.
And they brought Jamie Lee Curtis.
And Nick Castle.
Yeah, Nick Castle. And I thought that they got, the cop.
They did.
Yeah.
They did. I'm sorry. I forgot that.
Yeah, they were bringing those people back, and people kept asking her.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
Like, I would have rather seen Danielle Harris play the daughter of Jamie Lee Curtis in this, because then we could have actually had them together in a scene. Because if you follow the Halloween franchise, we don't really ever see Danielle Harris with Jamie Lee Curtis in the other Halloween films.
Yeah.
So it would have been cool to have them together. Same with the fellow from H2O. If we're gonna be like, hey, he has a son. we could have continued on from H2O.
Right.
But I'll be curious to see what they do with Halloween Kills. I'm not sure how Michael Myers escapes a flaming basement in the hyper realistic version they've done with this film. So I'm curious. I'm interested.
Yeah.
I will pay to watch.
There is a couple other comic book movies / cartoon movies that are out there.
Oh, like what?
We've not touched base with Suicide Squad. I mean, and James Gunn, I trust.
Yeah.
I do like James Gunn.
I think that he is. If you watch any of his movies, he's very good at making an ensemble cast.
Yeah, so I love the trailer. So.
I think that he has that Josh Whedon-esque part of him in that, and making the ensemble.
I just really didn't like Suicide Squad.
Yeah, the first one you can ignore.
Can I?
Yes.
Did you see the trailer for this one?
Yeah, it was. But I kept thinking the first film, like as I was watching.
I mean, it technically is a sequel.
It is a sequel,
but it's not related to the other one. Different director, different writers.
It's different director, different writers. Maybe if people are with me to watch it, maybe I don't think I would see this on my own. Like I wouldn't go out of my way to watch this. But if like a group of people were like, "Hey, let's stream it," I would check it out. I wouldn't object.
And then one that I didn't realize was coming out this year. Now I might have to be checked on this one too. Snake Eyes, G.I. Joe Origins.
That's coming out this year.
According to Cineplex.
Yeah, it is.
Right.
It's listed.
And so I once again,
I don't know enough to have an opinion.
The other G.I. Joe movies weren't great, you know. I mean this has a possibility, I guess. But
Snake Eyes is such a beloved character that they could go one of his multiple origins and just run with it, and they kind of writes itself.
It could be really good, but so could G.I. Joe, and it wasn't.
I mean, it's one of those things where you go back and go, is it the fact that G.I. Joe, the movie, wasn't that good? Or was G.I. Joe, the cartoon, not that great?
Oh, I know G.I. Joe, the cartoon wasn't, but the concept is solid,
Yeah, I mean, I own both of the new G.I. Joe movies, I'm not going to lie.
I think I did too.
They had high points and they had a lot of low points. A lot of low points.
I've never seen a G.I. Joe movie.
I thought they did Firefly pretty good in part 2.
I watched the cartoon as a kid, but I haven't yet to see any of these live action movies.
I don't remember the movies other than in the second one. The star of the first one died at the beginning.
Right, and when the very fact that you have Bruce Willis cameoing as Joe, the original G.I. Joe, for no apparent reason other than he's Bruce Willis, and The Rock being in there because he's The Rock.
And they had Brendan Fraser also in there. And he was uncredited, I believe.
He might have been uncredited. He's in the first one.
Because he played Sergeant Slaughter, right?
No, he played Sergeant Hawk, I think.
Was there Sergeant Slaughter in the Joe
movies? I think so.
I don't believe there was a Slaughter. No, I don't think
Okay.
Slaughter was in the movies at all. I could be wrong. I
haven't watched them since they were in theaters.
I watched G.I. Joe 1 the other day because it was on. And I'm a sucker for bad movies. So that's why I watched it. I'll carry it in my grave.
So, should we have any final thoughts?
2 movies that we've not talked about that are coming out this year. Once again, one's a remake. The other is a comic book movie, Venom.
That's coming out next year, isn't it?
No, this year.
Okay.
Unless they pushed it back. This is the last time I saw a trailer.
Okay.
Nah.
I'm looking forward to Woody Harrelson playing Carnage. I hated the first Venom movie, and I like the relationship between Eddie and the symbiote, but the story sucked.
Right.
The sequel, I want Woody Harrelson in anything. So
I think because Woody Harrelson's so good at playing that psychotic element, that no matter how Tom Hardy is, Woody Harrelson will be able to carry this movie on his back.
And plus, I think Tom Hardy does a good Eddie Brock.
Yeah.
It's more about the script and the plot of the first movie that I hated.
I didn't dig the trailer, to be honest, for
Yeah.
Venom 2. Like,
I mean, the trailer.
The trailer's not that great,
Not that
honestly.
great,
but again, there's
the
Woody
premise.
Harrelson.
but shouldn't the trailer be what sells you on the
It
movie?
should. It should. But
And be like, these are the best parts. These are the things let me hook that butt into the seat and get
but
you there.
I have not been disappointed by Woody Harrelson's acting
I mean,
ever.
So
Hunger
you're
Games?
willing to give the franchise.
No, he was great in that.
Yeah.
So you're willing to watch it because of Woody Harrelson,
Basically.
not because. So if Woody wasn't in it and it was just some other guy,
I would still probably watch it because I'm a huge Venom and Carnage fan.
Yeah.
But I probably wouldn't enjoy it as much. I believe I'll enjoy it because of Woody Harrelson.
okay.
Yeah, and then last but not least, the Dune movie. This is the movie that 100% when it comes out opening night, I'm there with my 3D goggles.
Okay.
I love Dune. I watched The Death when I was a kid. I love that version. I watched the sci-fi. I've watched every rendition out there. I've read all the books. Some of them are really bad, but I've read them all. I like it, and it's always interesting to see somebody else's take on it. The sandworms look cool. Everybody looks, cool. You just have a lot of young and upcoming actors and some solid regular actors in it. It's a good story. It's about young prince going, getting lost and finding himself in the desert and then leading a rebellion to take over the galaxy.
So,
Yeah,
all right.
and
I do want to give that a chance.
I just think it is hit or miss. I mean, it's the honest opinion because for me, it's going to be a home run. I know it is.
I'll be honest. As you were thinking, I was like, this movie reminds me of something. The way you just did, like the time, I was like, He-Man, Masters of the Universe, comes from a far land place, leads a rebellion, comes back to. I was like, it's He-Man.
He-Man!
We are getting a new He-Man cartoon this summer.
Yeah, the images from that look pretty good.
Yeah, I'll watch it. I mean, I might have some issues with it, but I'll watch it.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
But that is that's my most anticipated movie of the year is Dune.
Most
Followed by, of course, Spider-Man. Yeah.
It's neck and neck depending on which day you'd ask me, Spider-Man or Ghostbusters.
Yeah. Spider-Man's mine. Ghostbusters would be my second.
So it sounds like we need to, when Spider-Man comes out and Ghostbusters come out, we need to talk about those films.
I mean,
Yes,
we can do a
that's
review.
definitely true.
You could do a review of one of
it,
those,
yeah.
or both
Yeah.
of them.
What's the date for Ghostbusters?
November 11th.
Okay.
Yeah,
So we
November
got
11th.
time.
We got time. We can do some stuff in between.
And then, of course, Spider-Man's the 17th of December.
All right. Cool.
There you go.
Yeah.
Cool. All right.
Our Christmas video.
Hey!
Spider-Man.
There we go.
These kind of Christmas colors. They count.
I mean, we can find
Exactly.
ornaments up.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
All
thank
right.
you for
Thanks.
sticking with us and
Yep.
watching the video.
Be sure to like and subscribe. Comment your favorite
Movie for
anticipated movie
for 2021.
Yeah.
If there's a movie you're
And-
not looking forward to, feel
If
free
we
to
missed
mention
something
too.
that you think we should look into, put it on there
Yeah.
too.
And until next time, we will see you in the multiverse.
Bye, everybody. I'm listed as a skinny. I'm a bully because I'm skinny, and then the bigger guy, when he gets superpowers, Captain America style, he blows me up, and other people for being a dick to him when he was a bigger
Alright.
fellow.
Well, I mean,
Apparently, I'm riding a bike, and it's basically gonna be Grindhouse style.
Woo.
Like I'm riding a bike, and then it's gonna be like CGI explosion on top, like.
Okay, Isaac. All right.
a little bit.
Okay.
Oh wow, it's a false advertising. It is nothing but pineapple, and then all of a sudden there's this flame that comes out of the back.